Hi from this gorgeous garden in my Airbnb. So I thought I'd let you know what I did yesterday. So it was my first full day in Phoenix. And so I went downtown and I ended up in the Wells Fargo Museum, which is very interesting. It was all about the history of Wells Fargo, clearly, obviously, about the bank, but also about the postal service that they did. And they had great memorabilia there. And I, of course, had images of a couple of telegrams that were sent to Mum to the Camelback Inn back in 1958 for Christmas. So I was able to put it together. So that was good. And then I went to the police museum, learned all about Arizona's police force, specifically Phoenix, but the history from the first jail. Well, actually, they were tied to a rock. They either had to spend a day there or paid $1 fee to get out of it. Spoke to a very interesting boy who was working on the desk of the museum, and he was a historian, very interested in history, which I find it quite funny when they talk about history here in the US, because obviously coming from Europe, our history is a lot more in depth. I'm not taking anything away. And then I did a walk around. I actually went to the address where Mum used to live, and it has now been torn down and is now being rebuilt. And a couple of the restaurants that she mentions, the Flame restaurant, which apparently was very, very popular. Another one called Apples, which was a steakhouse. Apparently that was until very recently, actually 2015, it went. So I find that interesting. Sorry, there's a helicopter going on overhead. Clearly haven't seen me filming down here. But I find it interesting, the history of Phoenix, or they're basically tearing down a lot of the old and putting up sparkling new beautiful places. But it's very sad, I think, because some of the old buildings are absolutely beautiful. And the thing is about Phoenix is that it's very, very spread out. Mum actually, they had a lot to do with Glendale. It's about a 2-hour bus ride from here. It's, you need a car and I don't have one. So I'm moving on to Scottsdale, which is where the Camelback Inn is, and I'm trying to get to see somebody to speak to them. So I also met a very nice gentleman called Keith on the bus yesterday, and we chatted about art here in Phoenix. They have an art walk every Friday, and they have fantastic art around that I've already seen. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go to the art walk, but you never know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get there. Anyway, day one down. Ciao for now.